Hey there, folks. I'm meteorologist Matt Barentine. I hope you're having yourself a great day here on your Wednesday. We are anticipating some rain moving on in a little bit later on, so be prepared for that. You'll see that here on the Futurecast. Rain will come in a little bit later on this afternoon. It'll start in coastal areas, and that's where the rain will be heaviest. It's going to be in coastal areas. If you're away from the coastline, you're in our metro areas, Mobile, the Eastern Shore. You'll get rain, but most of it should be fairly light later on this afternoon, 4 or 5 o'clock. We're getting some rain moving in, but once again, most of it pretty light for us today. Don't think it'll be a big deal, but it'll be enough to get the roads a little bit wet, so watch out for that. It'll be enough to be a bit of a nuisance, so kind of watch out for that later on today here for your Wednesday. Now, as we move beyond today, going into tomorrow, heavier rain is going to be likely tomorrow. We've got the system that's sort of propagating itself along the Gulf Coast, and it's going to be pushing in a lot of Gulf moisture, and that'll continue not only into tomorrow, but also into Friday as well. In fact, look at the futurecast here for Friday, 6 o'clock on Friday late afternoon or Friday early evening. Of course, we have, a lot of things going on Friday evening, of course, Friday night lights and all that stuff. And look at that. The model there don't look good for Friday night, so we have to watch out for some rain. Hopefully that model's wrong and we won't have that much rain around, but we very well could, so be prepared for it. And also be prepared, especially in coastal areas, for some real rainfall amounts here over the next few days. We could see some high rainfall amounts, and you can see that along coastal areas showing 4 or 5 inches of rain. And so just be prepared. We could easily see that kind of deal over the next few days. A lot of Gulf moisture working its way on in. So we're going into a rainy pattern. Like I said, today's rain, this is over the next several hours, is going to be fairly light. So late this afternoon, going into this evening, most of it should be fairly light, except for right along the immediate beaches, and I think it'll be a little heavier there. Going into the evening, once again, most of it fairly light, but there will be some rain around to contend with that we'll have to, work through here for you today. Let's look at the long-range forecast. This is where things get pretty interesting. We got good rain chances Thursday and Friday, then a front moves through Friday, probably more like Saturday, early Saturday morning, and pleasant conditions come in for the weekend, folks. I mean, really pleasant conditions for the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Lower humidity, drier air, feeling pretty good, feeling pretty comfortable, and looking really good there for us over the weekend. I'm not going to call it, I don't know if we want to call it quite a taste of fall just yet, but it'll be pleasant. It'll certainly won't be like the mid-90s and heat in the summertime, so we do have some improvements there. Also, in the tropics, things aren't doing too bad considering that it's early September. We got multiple areas that we're keeping an eye on, but nothing that shows any immediate threat. And you can see the development percentage and all these is pretty low. Now, the one I was most concerned with in the Caribbean is struggling with dry air, and also it looks like it's going to be moving, on land into Central America before it really has a chance of developing. So it's kind of moving too far south for any serious development. You'll see that here on the Futurecast. It basically runs into El Salvador and Belize and Nicaragua and Costa Rica. It just doesn't have a chance really to fully develop because it's not going to be over the water long enough. And it may eventually try to do that over the southwestern Gulf, the Bay of Campeche, but even there it's staying so close to land according to this model that it's really struggling. And that takes us all the way into next Tuesday. And it's just, and looking at the whole picture out there, I mean, across the rest of the tropics as well, I'm not seeing a whole lot out there. So, I mean, for the early part of September, this is pretty good. I mean, I'll take it. We're not seeing anything that shows any real threat to the U.S. I mean, maybe South Texas could get some rain off of that system, but for the most part, we're doing good. Knock on wood, that'll continue. I probably won't, but, once again, we're looking pretty good. Let me get off that and get you back to the long range. Looks like that camera view is out anyway. Back onto the long range forecast here for us. We're looking at, once again, like I was just saying a minute ago, I'm going to go and put this up full screen. We are doing pretty good once we get through this rain. Now, we got heavy rain possibilities Thursday and Friday. Once that rain is done, we got a real nice weekend ahead with drier conditions and lower humidity and feeling fairly pleasant. Not quite fallish just yet, but kind of getting there. Getting, at least doesn't feel like full on, summertime there for the weekend. So improvements for sure. Thank you so much for joining us here on Fox 10. Have yourself a wonderful day.